Greetings one and all. Welcome back to the kitchen here today. So I'm going to be making a favourite from the Philippines here, pork adobo. So pork adobo, yeah, very popular dish in that neck of the woods. I've already made, it was a while ago now, a chicken adobo, but this is a pork version of that dish. I'll put a link up to the chicken one. It's a little bit different in so much as it's just slightly different, and that cooking time's a bit different, and we've got to cook this a bit longer obviously. So what I've got here is about 1-2 kgs of pork belly that I've just cut into fairly large cubes there, as you can see. And first of all, I'm just going to marinate this overnight. So in my marinade I've got 3/4 of a cup of soy sauce. It's a very simple dish, adobo, so should have it a go. It ends up very tasty for minimal effort. I've got here just 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Just about 1/2 teaspoon there of black peppercorns. Like I say, this is just the marinade. And I've got 5 cloves of garlic that I've just sort of given the old bashty bash treatment with the flat bit of the knife. So they're going to go in too. So we'll just stir that around a bit, mix that sugar in with that soy sauce, that garlic around, get it all a bit coated, and then I'll cover it up and I'll get it in the fridge overnight. I'll probably take it out once or twice, sort of a bit later, give it another stir, just as per usual when you're marinating meat for a long time. So I'll get that in the fridge and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Alrighty guys, hope you can hear me over the splutter of pork pieces frying away there. So what I've done is I've drained the marinade off that pork, but I've reserved that marinade. We are going to still be using that. I've put in my fry pan here about 3 or 4 tablespoons of canola oil, and now I'm just frying off the meat just to brown it. And once it's browned, I'm going to put it aside on this plate here. I am going to do that in batches, so it sort of fries up nicely. So I've still got plenty to go here, as you can see. Alrighty guys, so I've cooked off all that those bits of pork now. So they're nice and brown. So I'm just going to put those aside for a minute. I've also discarded most of that oil that was already in there, and plus a fair bit of fat came out of the pork as well. So I've got about maybe a tablespoon left, or maybe 1.5 tablespoons, something like that. So now for that, I'm just going to add 1 large chopped onion. And I've just slightly turned the heat down too. So we're just going to fry those a little bit more gently than the meat. Now here, I did sort of fish that garlic that was in that marinade out earlier. So I'm going to put that in as well. And I'm also going to add, I've got 2 bird's eye chilies that I've just sliced up. Now that's not traditionally probably adobo, but I'm just adding it for a bit of spice to mine. That's purely self-indulgence, just for my palate. It's not necessary, it's not compulsory, so it's up to you. You can add whatever you like to whatever you like, that's what I always say. But I'm pretty well sticking to traditional the adobo recipe, apart from the chili. And I think a lot of recipes do actually add chili these days. Okay guys, so my onion, garlic, chili there's been cooking away for a few minutes. It's picking up some nice colour off the pan as well. Looks good, smells good. I just gotta say, just as a little aside, I don't know why every time I start making one of these videos, someone's got to start up a whippersnipper or a lawnmower right outside my window, right on time. But anyway, I can't really stop now, so on with the show. So into that, I'm going to put my pork, my seared pork pieces, pork belly pieces back in there. I sound like a whinger. So I'll get those in, and I'll just put the heat back up again to high for a little bit. Now to that, we're going to put in our marinade that we soaked our pork in overnight. So it's going to be well and truly cooked out. This is going to cook for quite a while, guys. So in this next phase, I'm going to be cooking this pork for a minimum of probably an hour, maybe a bit longer, hour and 15 minutes. So don't worry about that marinade having any bacteria or anything in it. It's going to be well and truly cooked out. Now I'm also going to add just a couple of bay leaves, and I'm going to top it up with some water, maybe a little bit more than that. Give it another little stir, and that's basically going to be it for a while, guys. So what I'm going to do is, just for maybe, I don't know, this first half an hour or so, I'm going to put the lid on that, and just first I'm going to bring it to a boil, then I'm going to put it back down to a simmer, and we're just going to slowly simmer it away. So I'll get on with that, and I'll get back to you. Alrighty guys, yeah, so we've been going away, bubbling away for about, a good hour. As you can see, some of that liquid's come down a bit. We've still got a little way to go cooking this. We need to get that pork to fork tender, so it's still, it's getting more tender, but it's still got a way to go yet. But at this stage, I guess there's probably some of my Filipino friends out there saying, but hang on, you never put in the most important ingredient for adobo. Well, that's correct, because the most important ingredient that makes adobo is white vinegar. So now I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of white vinegar. So that's the Portuguese influence in the Philippines, and some of you might remember I made that pork vindaloo a while back, and that was actually from the state of it's a Goan dish from in India, but that too was a Portuguese colony. So you can see a little bit of a theme here. The thing that makes these dishes distinct is that they've got vinegar in them, which is a very Portuguese thing to do. You won't find it in any other part of, say, India, other than Goa, and you won't find it in other parts of Southeast Asia. Well, not much anyway, but you find it a lot in the Philippines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue letting that cook. I might even add a little bit more water. And yeah, I'll just let that simmer down until we want a lot of that liquid to actually evaporate, so we get a nice, really thick, almost coating sauce. and the pork is really tender. Alright, I'll get back to you then. Alrighty guys, so yeah, since I've added that vinegar, this has been going a bit longer than I thought. It's probably been about half an hour, but that sauce now is really starting to reduce down and thicken up really nicely. Yeah, it's just looking really good. In fact, it's looking so good, I've just turned the heat off. And I'm just going to let that sit there. I'm going to let it sit there while it's cooling down for another probably good 15 minutes or so. And just in that time, that sauce will thicken up even a little bit more than that. But I don't want to reduce it too much more because the flavours in that sauce right now are to absolutely die for. It's just like indescribably good. Alrighty guys, so I've just plated up my pork adobo here, and man am I happy. It is just, like I sort of already alluded to, I tasted the sauce already and it's off the charts. So yeah, I haven't tried the pork yet, I have been testing it, and as you can see it just comes apart with the fork. As they say, fork tender. So there's like a piece of the pork, and I don't know what's going on with this focusing lately. There we go. And that's just wanting to fall apart now, so you wouldn't want to take it any further than that. You do want your bits of pork sort of just holding together, but man, without further ado, in it goes. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That is so good. Not honest, trust me. That is just absolutely delicious. And you saw how simple it was. No wonder the Filipinos love this dish. Like, it is just fantastic. It's sweet. It's got that tang from the vinegar. It's salty, but not overly salty from the soy sauce. So simple, but it's just delicious. Yum. Oh man. I'll look, I won't eat any more in front of you because I'm just going to sit down now and just demolish that. Thanks for watching this, guys. Really appreciate it as always. I really want to thank everyone who subscribed to the channel. You guys give me that encouragement to keep going, and I am going to keep going. I've had a couple of new subscribers lately, a couple drop off, so swings and roundabouts, but doesn't matter, going to keep making the vids. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and click that little bell looking thing, and you'll find it'll notify you when there's new videos. And there's quite a back catalogue now of old videos. I know there's well over 100 now, I think. So just have a look, and I'd really appreciate it. Alrighty guys, I'll see you all next time.